hosted by Matt and Richards.
Hosted by Matt Richards.
$1 trillion tickers.
Watch the market unfold.
$1 trillion tickers.
Turning data to gold.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Richards. We just got the 5:30 a.m. data. We had core retail sales, and unemployment claims. We'll get into that a little bit later. The SPX just hit all-time highs in the pre-market. All right. Dow Jones is back over 50,000. I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Let's get into the mindset before we get into the market. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable, I am skilled, I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. Messing up on your own mantra, man. What's going on? It's too early. I don't know. All right, next. Check out this graphic I made, y'all. This is fire, yo. My new graphic right here that I made yesterday. But anyway, let's get into the macro and the data. Okay, so we had a data drop just 18 minutes ago when we were sitting near all-time highs. And that matters because when the market is near record levels, every data point becomes a test. This morning, retail sales numbers came in right on the forecast, which was 0.5%. Core retail sales month over month, exactly at the forecast as well, at 0.7%. So the consumer side of the data did not surprise. It did not come in hot. It did not come in weak. It came in exactly where the market expected. Now, the labor was a little bit different because unemployment claims, the forecast was 205K. The actual was 211K. So the unemployment claims came in higher than expected. That can suggest a little softness in the labor market. Not a huge miss, but enough for traders to notice. So, yeah. All right, next. SPX. Yes, it hit an all-time high in the pre-market. The Dow Jones is back over 50,000. The Nasdaq 100 did hit an all-time high yesterday after market close, but not in the pre-market so far. Okay, so buyers came into the morning with momentum. Now they have to defend it. The fear and greed index is at 64, so we're still in the middle of greed. Not extreme greed yet, so I think the market can still run till we get to extreme greed. All right, next. We did have some earnings here. We had a couple earnings. Let me put that on the screen. So, okay, after market close yesterday, we had Cisco. And they actually beat on earnings by 2.4%, beat on revenue by 1.8%. Currently up 14.5% from yesterday's close. Next, we had USAR. Beat on earnings by 7.6%. Beat on revenue by 34.6%. Huge beat on revenue. But as you can see, they are down 1.65% since yesterday's close. And in the pre-market, we had Yeti. This company sells. I ain't even gonna get into it. But earnings beat on earnings by 46.7%, beat on revenue by 1.5%. Y'all, they sell them overpriced water bottles, and they on the market, and they up 8.2% from yesterday's close. Just amazing, y'all. Just amazing. So I want to bring up SPX here. As you can see in the last 30-minute candle, the 30-minute candle that started at 5 a.m., they hit an all-time high. And here's the NAS 100. They hit that all-time high at 5:30 p.m. yesterday. And then, as you can see, the Dow Jones just hit an all-time high at that same 5 o'clock candle. All right. Next. Bitcoin is around 79,000. Brent crude is near $105 a barrel. WTI is about 101, is above 101. Gold is around 4,700 an ounce. Geopolitics are still a part of the picture. Trump and the president of China had that meeting yesterday with all the big wigs from the top companies. All right. Next, let's get into Robert Greene's daily law for today. Title: The Grandiose Leader. Daily law. The simple fact about grandiose leaders: they depend on attention they are given. Do not feed their egos by giving them the attention they crave. Summary. Today's law is about stepping back from the people who survive on attention. Robert Greene is describing leaders who build a public image around being one with the people while still chasing power, status, and control. They want attention, they want identification, they want criticism of them to feel like criticism of the entire group. The lesson is to stay observant. Do not get pulled into the performance. Analyze the reality underneath the image. In long-term investing, this connects leadership, branding, and company narratives. A CEO can become the face of a company can become a movement, a stock can become a symbol, but investors still have to ask, is the business actually improving? Are margins expanding? Is revenue growing? Is cash flow real? Is leadership creating value or just attracting attention? Do not invest in performance. Invest in execution. For day trading, this law applies to market hype. A stock can dominate the conversation. A headline can pull everyone's attention. A move can look powerful just because everybody's watching it. But attention is not confirmation. The chart still has to prove the move. Price still has to hold levels. Volume still has to support direction. Do not trade the drama. Trade the evidence. All right. Stay patient, stay disciplined. Execution over emotion. Process over prediction. Let's get into these charts, y'all. All right. Let's start with SPY. Oops. All right, SPY currently in the pre-market at 744.34. To the downside support, we got yesterday's all-time high, 743.91, followed by 743.60. The pre-market low of 743.09, 742.34, 739.82. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 745.44. We got these levels in the price discovery land, 745.87, 747.80. Next, we got QQQ currently in the pre-market at 714.80. To the downside support, we got 714.35, 713, 710, 708.45. To the upside resistance, we got yesterday's high, which was an all-time high, the 716.65. We got the pre-market high at 718.28. I got a level here in the price discovery land at 718.55. And then if the market just continues to run crazy. I got 723.75. The VIX is under 18. The VIX is at 1790 currently. Nvidia is gonna open up at an all-time high, y'all. Currently in the pre-market at 229.90. To the downside support, I got 229.75. The pre-market low, 229.14. Yesterday's high, 227.83. 226.50. 225, and then 223.45. To the upside resistance, we got 231.75. The pre-market high, 223.30, and then 233.55. Next, we got Google currently in the pre-market at $400.98. To the downside support, we got $400.10, $398, $396.40. To the upside resistance, we got yesterday's all-time high of 403.70. We got the pre-market high of 403.75, 407.50, and then 410.75. Next, we got Apple currently in the pre-market at $298.96. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of $297.50, $296.60, $293.90. To the upside resistance, we got the all-time high from yesterday at $300.92, followed by the pre-market high of $301.36, and then we got these levels in price discovery land, 302.60 and 303.25. Next, we got Microsoft currently in the pre-market at 406.67. To the downside support, we got 405.10, 403.75, and we got the pre-market low of 403.38, followed by 402.80. To the upside resistance, we got 407.20, pre-market high of 407.38, 407.80. And then 408.50. Next, we got Amazon currently in the pre-market at $269.90. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of $269.19, $268.80, $266.50. To the upside resistance, we got $270, $272.50, which is the pre-market high, $270.70, $271.20, $271.90. Next, we got TSM currently in the pre-market at $404.12. The downside support, we got the pre-market low, $403.56, $402.50, $401.60, $398.10. To the upside resistance, we got 405, 407.50, which is the pre-market high, 408.10, 411.50. Next, we got AVGO currently in the pre-market at 415.81. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low, 415.18, followed by 412.60, 408.40. To the upside resistance, we got 416.50, 418.09, 420.10, 422.80. Next, we got Meta currently in the pre-market at 416.70. To the downside support, we got 616.70, excuse me. To the downside support, we got 614.05, which is the pre-market low, 613.50, and then 608. To the upside resistance, we got 616.80, which is very close to the current price. We got the pre-market high, which is 619.06, 619.90, and then the bottom of this gap at 625. Next, we got Tesla currently in the pre-market at 448.56. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 446.13. Then we got 443.50, 439.60, 436.20. To the upside resistance, we got 449. We got the pre-market high of 452.12, 453.40, and 457.55. Samsung hit an all-time high yesterday at 299,500. Walmart currently in the pre-market at 130.94. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 130.70, followed by 130.30, 130.10, 129.10. To the upside resistance, we got 131.10, 131.26, which is the pre-market high, 131.90, 132.35. Next, we got Berkshire B currently in the pre-market at 486.90. To the downside support, we got 486.70, 485.20, and the pre-market low of 484.48. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 487.21 and then 489.40. All right, so that is it for the pre-market briefing. We'll be back at the market open in 29 minutes or less. Thanks for tuning in. Set those alerts, and we'll be back. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.